I wanted to hop on tonight because I wanted to walk all of you guys through. So the people that I've chosen and specifically invited to this call are the individuals who are going either Premier this month or have intentions of going Premier in the next few months. And so I wanted to break down what Premier is, what the rank would look like for you guys, the compensation with that, and then kind of just some logistical things that have to happen with the Premier rank. Because at this rank, you aren't just you. So you're not just responsible for however much you sell or however many people you introduce to oils. Now what it comes down to is you have actually started a team. So you actually have 2 builders, or you have 2 ghost legs, we call them, underneath you. And so I wanted to kind of break that down for you and give you the foundation of how that looks, so that come at the end of the month when you have all this BOGO volume coming in, you are strategically set up for Premier. So those of you, so the 2 of you on the call, so Sarah and Megan, and I know Cass as well, who can't make it, are the individuals I'm going to be working with really, 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 really closely to make sure that we have that foundation for Premier. So just to give you an idea, let me just share my screen. So, all right, so this here is you guys see that?
Yep.
So this right here.
Britt, sorry, I'm just multitasking. Is it possible to take a print screen and put it on
I am recording it. So what I'll do is I'll give you the link and you can watch it after.
Awesome, thank you.
No worries. So the breakdown for Premier is you. So you're the person at the top. So you're the Premier up here. And then the idea behind it is that you have 2 legs underneath you. So 2 people, ideally builders that are building businesses as well. I will let you guys know, I built a Premier by myself. So I built a Premier with 2 people, 2 ghost legs. So 2 individuals that had no intentions of building, but basically gave me their information and allowed me to build underneath them. So Premier is 5,000 in total sales. So it's 5,000 overall volume with 2 executive legs underneath you. An executive is 2,000 in volume. So you'll see that, yes, you need 2 executives at 2,000. Then you also need an extra 1,000 coming from somewhere in your organization. So this could mean that one of those legs has 3,000 volume and the other leg has 2,000 in volume. This could mean you have 3 legs and 2 legs have 2,000 and 1 leg has 1,000. So there's a few different ways that you could do this. So ideally, and there are some cases that, like I know for instance, Chelsea is going for Premier. Chelsea has 2 legs that are building and is ready to go and set up for that. I know Sarah and I just had a conversation this week about Sarah is signing up 2 people who are willing to give their SIN number to allow her to build underneath them. So there's a few different ways that you can do this, but ideally, that is the idea behind Premier, is that you are, you have 2 legs. So for instance, Meg, I went on and looked through some of your organizations, and like for instance, Meg. So Meg, you don't have 2 builders right now.
Right.
So there's a few different things that you can do, and you can ask. So like one thing that I've done in the past is somebody that I've enrolled, I've said to them, hey, why don't you sign up as a wellness advocate instead of a customer? They need to give you their SIN, which some people are super iffy with it. Others are like, yeah, no problem. They hand it over like a credit card. And it's completely safe. It's just, this is how I explain it. I just say to people that they need that in there so that they know you're a real person, right? Because we can create random accounts at any time if we really wanted to. However, you want to make sure that they're a real person. So that's why they ask for a SIN number. If they decide to build a business, it's used for tax purposes and things like that. But I just say to people, it's strictly for that purpose. The reason you need them to be an advocate versus a customer is customers, we can't place anybody under them. So in our business, we're really lucky because we can move people and place people, which is something we can obviously talk about when the time comes. But you can't place people under customers. And the reason they've done that is because there's a lot of people in other network marketing companies that have rules that they can't be affiliated with another network marketing company. So they created this customer option because these people aren't able to make money, which is nice. However, it does kind of make things a bit difficult for us because we can't stick people underneath them, which then kind of messes up that premier organization. I did want to give you guys a couple of ideas. With it being BOGO week, there is the possibility for you to set up a customer account and for us to use a customer account as a leg. And how we would do this is there's a few different ways that people have done this, but you would ideally be placing bulk orders. So I will say this isn't the ideal situation. However, given the situation, and I know there's a few of you that really want to hit goals this month and don't have that builder. So instead of just stressing out about not having a builder, what you can do is you can enroll a customer and we can use that account for all of the orders that you're putting through Bogos. So for instance, if you have 5 people tomorrow that want to take advantage of the BOGO, what you would do is you would say, okay, I'll place the order for all 5, and they would e-transfer you or give you cash or whatever they wanted to do, and you would place them all through that account. So what would happen in that case is that all that volume would then pile up in that one account, and that would be a qualifying leg for Premier. Does that make sense?
Kind of, yeah. But I thought they had to be a wellness advocate.
So the only reason they have to be a wellness advocate is if you're placing people underneath them.
Gotcha.
But
okay. As long as them themselves, like that account has to pay, then that's
exactly.
Yeah. Okay, I set mine up today.
Okay.
Because what I'm finding is that people are interested in the BOGOs, but don't necessarily have the money for the membership or the kit. So that's what I've been trying to say is that, and you and I spoke about this week, about doing like the bulk orders and that sort of thing. So I have one set up right now. The one thing I find about this SIN numbers is some people are really hesitant to like just give that over. So I've been kind of struggling with that second leg.
Yeah, and so you have one leg, you said, right, that gave you a SIN?
No, I don't have a SIN. I just set up that kind of ghost one for the bulk orders.
Okay. Yeah, so you can do that. And my only thing I keep saying to people is just keep trying with people with SIN numbers and just explaining to them that it's just used so that we know it's a real person and that kind of thing.
So can you use like a family member or something?
Absolutely. So a lot of people will use like a mom, or it can't be in the same address, so it can't be your husband. However, it can be your mom. Like I have my grandma set up as one of my ghost legs. So it can be anybody who doesn't live in the same address as you, but is willing to give you their SIN number.
Okay.
But they don't necessarily have to sell.
No, and they don't ever.
Is that right?
No. So the idea is that you use them as like an account holder. So basically what happens is you leave them in that spot, you build your business, you hit ranks, whatever. And then when the time comes that you have somebody who comes to your business and they're like, I want to go big and I'm really excited. That's when you would then switch them into that spot. So you can switch somebody into that position.
Gotcha.
It's just a matter of, for right now, for the time being, kind of like a quick way of doing it. You want to have that person in there now. So it would be something ideally like you'd want to have in the next day. So at least the rest of the BOGO people you enroll, you can throw underneath that that account. I will tell you, BOGOs. So this is for both of you, Sarah. I think Meg, you did you participate in the BOGOs this year?
No, I didn't.
Okay, so they're like life changing. For myself, I usually stock up on, it all depends on budget, but I usually stock up on, you can stock up on, I think a max of either 5 or 6 of each day. And I love stocking up because I can use them as giveaways and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And you buy 5 and you get 10. So it's like, what the heck? You can't go wrong with that. So I usually stock up on all Bogos that I can. And yeah, so like the strategic thing would be for both of you, since you're working towards Premier and you need legs, to use one of those accounts to buy your Bogos. So for you, Sarah, you have that account set up. I would go in and I would use that, like one of them for Bogos, and then I would maybe even once you get a SIN one, go in and use that one for the buy-in Bogo, like for people who you're buying for.
Okay.
Because you definitely want to make sure all volume is going into the legs opposed to going into your account. Because
That makes sense.
you don't want to waste any of that volume, right? So if you're buying 500 worth of Bogos this week, that volume can be used in one of those legs.
Okay.
So Meg, one thing that you could do is, like, I know you have 2 people on your front line who are customers.
Yeah.
I don't know if either of them could or would be interested in giving you a SIN, or maybe there was the potential for either of them to sell. You could always just ask them and say, you know what, we've got Bogos. Not sure if you want to share them with friends, but if you do, you can give me your SIN and I'll make sure that you get some commissions. Like, just kind of a
Like an
roundabout way of
incentive.
asking them.
Okay.
Yeah. Or your mom. Like, I don't know. Is that your mom that you enrolled, or your?
No, it's just a family friend.
Okay. Yeah. So there's a few different things that you could do there. But yeah, so that's ideally what you want to do.
Okay.
So with Premier, there is they call it, heck's the name of it? An empowerment bonus. So if you enroll one person in the month that you hit Premier, which I will tell you, wink, wink, nudge, nudge, you're both hitting Premier. All of you are hitting Premier this month. And I'll obviously be doing a lot of work with you guys to get you there. I have a lot of Bogos being sold too.
So how does that work? Like, you would place people underneath of us then?
Yeah. So I obviously, like, you work as hard as you can.
And then the more legs we build, like, you can get higher ranks.
Absolutely. And then I always will, if there's any missing spaces, I'll be filling that in. But yeah, so what happens is when you hit Premier, it's called an empowerment bonus. And the empowerment bonus is, I believe it's 250 Canadian dollars. And it is given to you when you hit Premier. Every month you hit Premier, it's given to you. The only stipulation is you have to enroll one person. So wellness advocate or a customer, it doesn't matter what one. And you get that, plus you get the unit level that you start to develop off of your team, as well as the commissions that you get. So the 20% when you enroll somebody and that kind of thing. So as you're hitting Premier, you're looking at about $500 or $600 income coming in. So it's definitely in it, kind of like that incentive to hit it, because it is definitely bringing in some extra dough.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so I just wanted to break down really what Premier looked like and give you guys some ideas into how that works.
No, that's awesome, because I didn't really know a whole lot about it or how to go about it.
Yeah. And honestly, it's just a matter of the legs, I think, is the most complicated part, is getting those legs in place. Yeah. So whether it's the a ghost or however you decide to fix that up, and we can talk personally, like, as you go through it and figure it out, you can just ask me any questions. Obviously, the ideal situation would be somebody enrolls with a kit and they give you their SIN number, kind of thing, right?
Because then they've already paid
and it's not
enrollment fee
to pay, right? But yeah, I often find family members or like close friends to be the easiest ones that'll give you
right.
That.
Well, they trust you. Right?
You what?
I said, well, they trust you rather than a random
They trust
person.
you, and you tell them, you know what, it's for my business. It's maybe going to be for 3 months. I'm hoping to find someone to fill a spot, but to hit a rank that I want to hit this month, I'm required to have a person in place. And right now I don't have that person. And just explaining in a really easy, simple way for them. Yeah. That's what I usually do.
So, sorry, can I just ask one question? So if we enroll that person as a customer, say like today, and they give us their SIN number in like 2 weeks, we can still switch them at that point?
No. You can switch them. You can switch them at any point. However, for you to place people underneath them, which is what you're going to want to do this week with orders going through and stuff, it has to be in there at that time. So it's easiest to just right from the very get-go enroll somebody as a wellness advocate. So if you have the people on your front line now, you can go in and say upgrade to wellness advocate, and then they'll ask you to put in their SIN or tax ID number, depending on if they have a business or however they want to register it. But yeah, to be able to place stuff under the people, you definitely want to have that in there now.
Okay, cool. Yeah, no, I might have my mother-in-law do that because she wants to sign up too.
Yeah.
But I do have a question for you regarding the BOGO thing.
Yeah.
So I kind of like started with my own group and then realized it probably wouldn't be worth it since I only have like 30 people in it.
Yep.
So like I talked to you earlier, I've been having them come over to your big group.
Yeah.
And I had someone ask me if, because they aren't directly under you, if they can still take advantage of the incentives that you are posting.
Yeah. So given the month and that we're working towards a really big goal, I will be covering the, and this, I haven't opened this to every team, just because I have gold leaders on my team who really should be doing their own promos. However, given the circumstance and that we're really, as a team, we're working towards a big goal, I will be covering the what's it called? Giveaways and stuff for you guys as well. So you will see within the group, because what happened is this group was strictly my own enrollments for a while.
Mm-hmm.
You will see in the group that the link is to buy is under my thing.
Yep.
So when you add people to the group, the only thing I'm recommending you guys make sure you tell them is that to make sure that they're coming to you to enroll. However, all of the promos that I'm offering, they are more than welcome to take part in.
Okay, so even like the one you just posted, which is like enroll tonight with a new membership.
Yeah. The only thing is when they enroll and they take part of it. So this is going to be some due diligence on your part.
Yeah.
You're going to have to.
We have to make sure.
Yeah,
and also make sure that it's under us and not someone else.
Yeah, because the problem is that when people enroll under me, I can see when it comes through.
Yeah.
So it's easy for me to just be like, okay, great. I throw them on a list and I can see that so-and-so took advantage of this promo. I can't see what comes through your guys' accounts unless I go and look. So if somebody does enroll tonight, which it's tonight by midnight, so if they want to take advantage of that, I'm actually going to be extending it for the week. But
are you sure though? That's a lot like on you.
I will let you know there is something called the buy-in for Blue Diamonds, and it's $7,000. So I'm really far.
You have to spend that?
No, so I'm really far from Blue Diamonds. It's kind of like a really ballsy goal of us to hit Blue Diamond. But what
though you have to try.
Yeah, and I'm like, every part of my body is just like, you have to go for it, and so we're going for it. But what happens is if you're within 7,000 PV away or OV, whatever, away from Blue Diamond, you can do something called a buy-in. So what I usually will do is use that buy-in amount for promos.
Okay.
So that's why I have a lot more promos being offered. Like my promos are pretty hefty because
I was like, oh my gosh.
I have money to spend, and I also want to incentivize people to really take part. So it's kind of, for me, it's absolutely worth it for me to just really push people to purchase.
Okay.
But yeah, so that's absolutely open to them. So my thought would be to, when we hop off this in a few minutes, like message those people, and you can even take one of those photos and say, here, this is the promo, take part in it however they want to take part in it, and then just send me their name so then I can go in and get the address and stuff.
Okay, cool.
And
Awesome.
same goes for you, Sarah. I don't know if are you still there?
Yeah, I'm here. Yeah, I have a couple people that I'm working on tonight. So I was just thinking, even if we do it, can we screenshot it
Yeah.
to you? Okay.
Yeah, or even just send screenshot like the order.
Yeah.
Like you'll place the order for them under you, and then you'll just send me the person's order.
Yeah. Would that work, or is that too complicated?
It's honestly, it's less that I don't really need the proof, because I can go back and
I can look them up, right? Yeah.
Yeah, like I can see who was enrolled today and that kind of thing for my back office. It's more or less just the name so that I don't forget.
Okay, sounds good.
Because I tend to forget sometimes. But yeah,
awesome.
Some fun ideas, and that's a fun way for you to incentivize your organization that are really just on the ledge of wanting to order, to jump in with both feet. So yeah, send them all the goodies, and we'll get them taken care of. Add everybody to the group, whatever you guys want to do. Totally up to you guys. And
yeah, no, I just wanted to check with you first, because I don't want to be telling people like yeah or no, and then
yeah, no worries. I don't always do that, and it won't be a consistent thing.
Absolutely.
The only time I usually do these promos is during a rank advancement month, if I need to. Yeah.
Cool. Awesome.
Britt, do you have any tips for those that are like sitting on the fence?
Honestly, I'm a big fan of just, I don't want to say calling people out, but I often find that people don't see the value in oils because they don't know what they can do for them. So I love asking the question, like, what is your health worth? Or say to people, like, you know what, like, what do you use on a regular basis? What products? And they'll explain all these products they use. And I will really just break it down and say, you know what, these are all things that oils can actually help with and help you get rid of all the other junk for a really low price. So that's one thing I use. BOGO week is an amazing week for people to start because they can get double the oils for half price. So I just sent out about 15 Facebook messages to people who've been on the fence and said, hey, I'll help you get set up with your account tonight so that you can get the BOGOs for the week. And half of them were like, okay, let's go. Let's do it.
Yeah, you sort of have to just like give them the push, not are you ready? Sort of
yeah,
thing.
Not are you ready? I will often say, hey, BOGO week is this week. I'll be available until midnight tonight to help you set up your account. Confident. And most of the time they're like, okay, like there's no questions asked. Because I find that the moment that I go into the question saying, okay, are you ready now? And like kind of baby them. Or I went in today with, and this is a total mistake of mine, I was like, I know you've been dabbling back and forth, or I'm not sure if now is the right time. And I gave them a no. Whereas if you just say to them, hey, I'm available tonight to help you set up your account so you can take advantage of BOGOs this week, they're like spot on. Like they're ready to roll.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's helpful. Thank you.
And then I will let you guys know that I'm also doing, because of this buy-in and these promos I'm offering, I'm also offering a shitload of promos next week.
Yeah, I saw that.
Don't tell people this, but I'm doing like buy 100 PV, get 200 PV for free.
Holy
so basically
crap,
whatever somebody buys, I'm gonna match. So if somebody buys a family wellness kit and it's 400 PV, I'm gonna give them 400 PV. So the idea is that I'm actually filling in a lot of my volume by them purchasing, and then I'm filling in the small amount of volume with the promo I'm giving them.
Wow, awesome.
I also have a crap load of product in my house. So I'm like, I kind of need to get rid of this.
That's awesome though that you can do that. I mean, that's incredible.
So that's why I've opened this all up to you guys, and you can let people know that don't tell them what's coming, but just say there's a lot of promos coming next week and kind of like
awesome.
an extended BOGO. So yeah.
No, thank you so
would
much.
you be open to? Sure. Yeah. Yes. Thank you. Would you be open to backdating that promo instead of today by yesterday?
Not video
Just
chatting.
for one
half
one
naked.
particular individual?
Did she enroll?
Yeah.
No, I can't.
No? Okay.
Yeah, you know what? I can't because I enrolled 2 girls yesterday, and they messaged me today and said, "Hey, can I have that promo? I just saw it." And I was like, "Sorry, no." So there's gonna
Okay.
be a lot.
No
You
worries.
have
I
to
just
keep
thought I'd
strict.
ask.
Yeah, you have to keep strict to what you post, or
There's
else
gonna be a lot
everyone
of
wants to
promos
get
this
it.
week that people will take part in. So I wouldn't be stressed out about that. Bogos are usually phenomenal, so there'll be some good ones.